start with the art activities for children 3 to 6 years old. First is the spring construction in a category of craft. In making this activity with a duration time of 45 minutes in a grade level of kindergarten and grade 1. The methods of teaching is the cooperative learning and brainstorming. The multiple intelligence is the visual spatial. And the materials needed for making this activity are pencils, paper, color pencils, markers, watercolors, pair of scissors, glue, and cardboard. Objectives. Pupils will learn about the months of the spring and their characteristics, and they will observe and record changes in nature, especially in animals and plants when the spring comes. The procedure first is we split the pupils in teams of 4. The kids think what they would like to portray on their collage. Each kid draws in colors. In the end of the kids of each team compose a collage of a spring picture. Second, the kids, individually or in teams of 2, make a picture using points or markers. These pictures may show plants and flowers of the spring, animals' behavior, for example, the returning of the swallow, and they exhibit their work. The second activity is the finger painting in a category of craft. The duration of time is 1 hour. Grade level is kindergarten and grade 1. The method of teaching is guided activity and small group work. The multiple intelligence is bodily kinesthetic and verbal linguistic. The materials needed for this activity are drawing paper, acrylic or watercolors, water, and palette. The objectives is to learn through painting the main colors, red, yellow, and blue, to make painting spots from points, to recognize the points, the main elements in the artistic plastic language, and to develop their civic spirit. The Romanian flag is colored in red, yellow, and blue. The procedure. First, fill your water cup with water. Dip the brush in the water and mix it in your chosen color in the paint box until you have lots of paint in the brush. Then coat your index finger with paint. Second, press your index finger coated in paint firmly on the sheet of paper to create a colorful fingerprint. Repeat the process as often as you like, preferably with different colors. Turn the paper however you like. You can create beautiful flowers, funny little people, and animals with a colorful fingerprint. The third activity is the Burmas in a category of craft. The duration of time is 30 minutes. The grade level is grade 1 to 3. The method of teaching is guided activity. The multiple intelligence is the visual spatial. The materials needed for this activity are paper plates cut in hot, brown paint, paint brushes, lollipop sticks, block marker, glue, cellophane, black, pink, and cream paint, pre-cut circles and semicircles of white paper. The objectives: to enable children to discover color in the visual environment, to help develop sensitivity to color, work with shapes that have a variety of characteristics, and become aware of the three-dimensional nature of form in objects. The procedure. First, the children will then work individually to create their own best mask using the materials provided. Second, the children will begin by painting the proper plate brown and setting it aside to dry. The children will then paint 2 large semicircles brown for outside the air and 2 small semicircles pink for inside the ears. The children will paint 1 large circle cream for the mouth and 1 small circle black for the nose. And third, the children will use the black marker to make the eyes. Next is the art activities for children 6 to 9 years old. The first activity is the stick horse or hobby horse in a category of craft in a duration of time of approximately 5 to 7 hours in grade level grade 3, 4, 5, and 6. The method of teaching is guided activity. The multiple intelligence is the interpersonal and intrapersonal. The materials needed for this activity are the ankle sock, 2 buttons, a big eye needle, cotton wool, cotton or wool yarn, a wooden stick about 1 meter long, packing tape, glue, felt fabric or leather, tricot, welt or thick yarn. The objectives is to make a stick horse, to learn box stitch, overcast stitch, and raya loop stitch, learn sewing or button, finger crocheting, using a sewing pattern, and to learn patience in making a work that takes longer time. The procedure. First, take an old ankle sock to make the head of the horse. A woolly sock is the best, but a cotton sock is suitable as well. Second, sew 2 buttons on the sock to make the eyes of horse. Third, fill in the sock with cotton wool. Fourth, fasten the filled sock on a thick with packing tape. Spread glue on the tape and wind thick yarn. Next, if you want, you can sew a mouth and nostrils with box stitches. Next, sew the ears made of woolen or cotton yarn with raya loop stitches. And next, crochet the bridle for the horse of tricot weft or thick yarn by finger crocheting. Next, additionally, you can make a blanket for the horse or felt fabric or other fabric. It is important to give the horse a name. You can also write, draw, or film the adventures of the horse. With the horse, you can learn to ride dressage or show jumping. In Finland, there are also stick horse competition on the side of the real horse races and the children's happening. And next is stick horses made by children 7 to 9 years old. The second activity is the Picasso Easter egg in a category of craft. The duration of time is 1 hour. The grade level is grade 1, 2, and 3. The methods of teaching is center-based learning, and the multiple intelligence is the visual spatial. The materials needed are white drawing paper, colored pencil or markers, scissors, glue sticks, cut-out eyes, mouth, arms, and pompons. The objectives is the students can recognize and talk about art by Picasso based on the lines and colored shapes in his work. Second, the students can create a creative art piece of their own using similar lines and colored shapes. The procedure. First, looking at artwork made by Picasso. Second, talking about the particularities they see, like lines, shape, use of color. Third, drawing random lines and shapes on a piece of paper using a black marker. Next, coloring in the created shapes using colored pencil or markers. Next, cutting out the shape of an egg and paste eyes, mouth, nose, and arms to the egg shape. The third activity is the quilling in a category of craft. In a duration of time, 2 hours. Grade level is grade 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The method of teaching is cooperative learning and jigsaw. The multiple intelligence are verbal linguistic, bodily kinesthetic, and intrapersonal. The materials needed are strips of colored paper, glue, colored cardboard, rolling tools, scissors, and paper cutting. The objectives. The activity will help the children to harmoniously combine the colors, to know and identify elements from nature, their shape and color, develop practical abilities, to learn the skill of rolling the paper will be used for making the artwork, to carefully handle the tools for the work. It develops the aesthetic feelings, the desire of obtaining beautiful works, and to express their opinions and about works of their colleagues, to appreciate his own work as well as that of the others, and to work in a team, to share responsibilities in an activity, and to be tolerant and responsible. The procedure. First is quilling is a working technique of rolling the paper with the help of tools or even with the empty hand. It is a technique that attracts, captivates, but which proved to be an art. Second, the pupils have learned with pleasure and very quick techniques. They are familiar with it. They have made many simple individual works, but the most ample and beautiful compositions are made in a team or in pairs. Third, they divide their work. Some roll the paper, some stick it. They model the elements, stick the elements on the colored cardboard, and they create a composition, and they express their opinions and improve their work. The fourth activity is the choose artworks by listening to music in a category of music. The duration of time is 35 minutes. The grade level is grade 3, 4, 5, and 6. The methods of teaching is discussion. The multiple intelligence is musical rhythmic and verbal linguistic. The materials needed are internet connection for the YouTube links and prints of famous artworks. The objectives are the children are able to listen carefully to several pieces of music. The children are able to pick an artwork based on the music they hear, and the children are able to explain why they have chosen the artwork on the music, and the children can enjoy listening to music. The procedure: first, make a small museum in the classroom. Second, put artworks from several famous artists. Third, give time to children to watch the artworks. Fourth, make duos. Fifth, explain to children that they are going to hear pieces of music and that they are going to choose an artwork that fits the music they hear. Next, state the first piece of music and give time to listen and choose. And last, let the children explain why they have chosen a piece of art within the music they heard. And next, the art activities for children 9 to 12 years old. The first activity is the body painting in a category of craft. In a duration of time 1 hour. The grade level is grade 4, 5, and 6. The methods of teaching are cooperative learning, role-playing, and center-based learning. The multiple intelligence are visual, spatial, interpersonal, and intrapersonal. The materials needed are different layers of wallpaper made together with adhesive tape and felt tip pins in different colors. The objectives are the students make a silhouette of each other in turn, and the pupils pay attention to the details, for example, fingers and hair. The procedure is the class group is divided into groups of maximum of 4 pupils. In turns, pupil is lying on the wallpaper and the silhouette of that pupil is drawn. Like taker, the pupils always lie on the silhouette of the previous pupil. This can always change direction, and the students color the silhouette with felt pen and different colors for each silhouette. The second activity is the vase and tissue paper flowers in a category of craft in a duration of time 5 minutes. In grade level is grade 4, 5, and 6. The methods of teaching is center-based learning and the multiple intelligence is visual spatial. The materials needed are glass jar for the base, liquid glue, paints, plus plasticine, and string are similar. For the flowers, tissue paper of different colors like green or brown crepe papers, newspaper, scissors, thread, glue and paints, and paint brushes. The objectives are use creativity to customize a vase to a glass jar and model plasticine to create the ornaments for a vase and create flowers using tissue paper and newspaper. The procedure: for vase, paint the first layer with liquid glue and the second one with paint using the thick brush and perpendicular touches. Prepare plasticine ornaments and fix them on the vase using hot melt glue gun, and cover them with acrylic varnish to harden them. And put the string around the top of the vase and tie it with lacing or simple knot. For stems of the flowers, using a sheet of newspapers, glue rolling from a corner, tightening well as it is rolled up to obtain an adequate size for our flowers. For flowers, cut 8 rectangles of tissue paper and fold them in accordance altogether. Knot the center with thread. Cut the tips in V and separate each paper on each side of the knot, and lifting it up to form the petals of the flowers, and join each flowers with one of the stem, and with tape that will be covered with green and brown tissue paper or crepe paper.